It's snack time. I'm your host, Marno, and joining me today is my friend and Ren Fair ride or die, Kate. Today we're talking about our favorite Renaissance Fair snacks and bevs. Hi, Kate. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. I am so great. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited. I've never been on a podcast before, and I probably
Wow.
never will be again. So I'm really excited.
This is a real snack time exclusive. Um, One
Truly,
time only, folks, so live it
limited
up.
time magic for sure.
So magical that Kate's even like in the Ren Fair spirit. She put on a flower crown. She's drinking out of like a fun goblet type glass. Like we have
Really
to
have
get
to,
into the spirit because there's no
yeah.
Ren Fair this year.
Yeah. When will there be one again? I'm not sure.
But in the meantime, we're gonna relive some memories because we are going to talk about some snacks and bevs. I picked a handful of snacks and bevs. Kate has a small handful, and we'll get into why some may have a bigger handful than
Right.
others. Before we get into that, we have to know, Kate, are you a salty or sweet snacker?
Okay. I feel like, at least from my listening to this podcast, I think that I might be in the unpopular category, but I am a sweet snacker, I think. As much as I love a salty snack as well, I think I have to go with sweet. Is that accurate that I feel like most people have come on and said salty?
I think so. I don't think it necessarily represents like the world's population. I think it would
Right.
probably be pretty close to 50-50.
Mhm.
But I do seem to surround myself with some salty bitches. But I will say and will confirm and sign on the dotted line that the above stated is correct, that you're a sweet ass little bitch.
Yeah. It
Like, you always have baked goods. Basically every almost every time I go to your house, you either have just baked something or you're like putting something in the oven. Or like I never make cookies from scratch unless it's like my mom's oatmeal cookies and I'm like helping her make them because baking is very intimidating to me because it has to be so precise. So I can do it and I can do it pretty successfully, but it just stresses me out.
yeah.
Like because I want it to be so precise that then it's just like too much, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah.
But Kate just whips out like ingredients to cook cookies from scratch like almost every time. And I'm like, where'd you get this recipe? She's like, on the back of this Costco bag of chocolate chips. It's like,
Keeping it simple.
but
But
like
I
still from scratch.
That's true. I just have to have a sweet treat in my house at all times.
Mm.
And I basically have to have a dessert after, like, every meal. I have to have something sweet. So that
Uh-huh.
I have to have something on hand, and I want it to be as good as possible. So, usually I end up baking stuff. I just got, a Trader Joe's pumpkin oatmeal chocolate chip cookie
Oh,
mix, and I'm really excited to try it. Maybe I'll do that today. Um, I have not had it yet, and I'm very excited. I've been really going crazy for the Trader Joe's pumpkin stuff. That's off topic snack-wise, but
but I think it like really fits with the Ren Fair vibe. Like Renaissance Fair, even though our Renaissance Fair in Irwindale is like more spring summer, like the Renaissance Fair vibe is definitely like an autumnal vibe.
definitely.
And the Renaissance fairs that we've been to that are more like in fall were such a cool vibe.
I agree. It doesn't I'm not really sure why a lot of them are so late or why they're in the late months, because it really, I agree, lends itself to being more cool, and also it's not fun to be in a corset sweating and drinking hot beer,
Hot
like, in
beer.
the sun. So, maybe when they come back, they'll be in the fall.
That would be so ideal. Yeah, because I mean, we listeners, if you don't know, Kate and I go all the way. out for Ren Fair. We turn it out. We've got bodices or corsets, underbusts, what have you. We've got, like little peasant tops or whatever else we put together. Remember we used to just use scarves?
Of
We would
course.
just use, because also it helps to not have more fabric on your body. It's like
Yeah.
the least fabric as possible because you're in a freaking corset. Like you're literally just sweat underneath. And then we always had flower crowns, or like you got into the tiaras too, which I like. I think I'm gonna have to make myself one because I
You
really
should.
want one. We've got the whole look.
And can I say also, we are multi-city, multi-state Ren Fair gals, seasoned,
Multi-coast.
multi-coast. Oh
Okay,
my gosh,
like
yes.
let's go through
Yeah.
where have we been? And how many times have we gone to boat? To any of them? Because we've gone to some multiple times. I don't
Multiple.
even know.
So the ones that we've gone to once, if I'm remembering correctly, are New
Mhm.
York
Yeah.
and Escondido.
Yeah.
And
And
then
Vegas.
Vegas, of course. Yeah, we went to Vegas
Mhm.
once. And um then we've been to Big Bear multiple times.
Yeah.
And then of course our home fair, as they say,
Our home
Irvine,
fair.
California, the Los Angeles Renaissance Fair.
Yes, that is our like heart, like where our hearts thrive, I would say.
My heart belongs to the Irwindale Renaissance Fair.
So many great times, and such great times that sometimes we forget to do what this show is about. Weirdly, even though we're always surrounded by food constantly, and we're constantly like, that looks so good, that looks so good, that looks so good, we just go so hard at Ren Fair that we're like running around. We like are like, oh shit, we've been here for like 3 hours and we haven't eaten anything. And we've both
Yeah.
had like a cider or two or however
Or
many,
four.
like but like it's so like you're in such like a time warp. Like time and space do not exist and you just float on through. Ren Fair is a whole other world.
Truly. I also feel like it's a little bit of a paradox of choice thing because there are so many options, and I feel like we usually the way we do it, we'll walk in and we'll go, "Oh, that looks really good. Let's come back." And then
Yeah.
we along the way, you see so many more things that you're not really sure what you want.
Then you're like, oh,
So
should we see what's at everything first?
yeah.
And then it's like by the time you make your way back, it's been like over an hour
Yeah,
at least.
you can't even go around the whole thing once without getting distracted multiple
Yeah.
times.
And because like Kate and I are, I'd say like probably people who run the Ren Fair, like we're probably their favorite type of person. Like not to toot our own horns, but
The
we're
teacher's
like so
pet.
fun.
Yeah.
We're the teachers' pets of Ren Fair. Like we try so hard to like really play along because it's so fun. Like
Yeah.
it's just fun to be silly. Like everyone, well, I'd say like there's been a small handful of people that were like, don't talk to us. But like that's such a rarity. The majority of people at Ren Fair are just there to literally play and have fun and be silly and like take it a little too seriously, but in a good way, in that they're like
Right.
serious about how much fun they want people to have.
Ren Fair is camp.
Ren Fair is camp. It's the
Yeah.
campiest thing you could ever do in your life is to dress
That
up and
is
go to a
so
Ren Fair.
true. Yeah, that
And
is
to
so
try to
true.
like speak in like usually we'll try to say like good day instead of hello or
Yeah.
you know like we're just like so fun at Ren Fair.
I agree. I mean, we have our also I don't want to say group, but we have our little like Ren Fair friends that we see
Yes,
when
we
we're
go and
there.
say hi.
Sometimes we have to just keep walking and say maybe it's not time to say hello to them at this moment.
Yes, well because there's always a moment but you just have to find the moment.
Right. And we see them every year, so It's just
we look forward to it. It's just it's home away from home, you know?
Truly.
So, on the off chance that we remember to eat or drink, well, we don't really forget to drink. I'd say
I've never forgotten to drink at Ren Fair. I can say that with confidence.
I don't think we ever forget to drink, but we do forget to eat. But maybe we'll talk about what we drink first, since it is more important, it seems. So maybe I'll go, and then, because I know what your answer is, and I think it just like speaks to Ren Fair so much that I wanted to like lead up to that. So I'm not a big drinker, but if I do get drinks at Renaissance Fair, it's usually like a hard apple cider because I'm a baby, or some kind of drink that has like mead mixed into it. I think mead is so freaking good. So sometimes I'll get something that's like that, or a lot of Renaissance fairs will have iced chai. And like besides water, which is like obviously I drink water all day, but an iced chai is so good at Ren Fair. It's like cinnamon, it's like a little spice, like very delicious and refreshing.
And they always have like really gourmet like little booths for the coffee and tea and stuff too.
And it's always a guy with like a long beard and makeup and
yes. That's the thing about Ren Fair, if you haven't been, to the listeners at home, like no one is not in full costume and like full character that's working there. Like the guy at the coffee thing is definitely going to be like wearing full Ren Fair like regalia and talking like it's the 15th century or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's so fun. It's like the vibe, if listeners, if you haven't been to Ren Fair, but you have been to Disneyland and you've been in the Haunted Mansion or the Tower of Terror before it became Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever it's called, the vibe that the workers or cast members have like in those attractions where they're like in character and it's like setting the tone and you feel really immersed. That is Ren Fair, but every single person is a different character. And like they study how to speak, they study the history so they know like things to say, like they know how to respond, they know so much that they can respond to people in a my phone was just ringing.
Michelle, the level of
that was so unprofessional. Are too much.
Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. That's weird though. Why was my ringer even on? I never have it on. There's a ghost. It's the ghost of Ren Fair's past.
I was gonna say there's no cell phones in the Elizabethan times.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yes, the theming is immaculate. Everyone knows how to fully immerse you into that world. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck they're saying on the stage.
It's so confusing.
And you just have to smile.
Because then if it's like a character that they're gonna get mad at you if you like are acting dumb or like don't know what to say, then they'll like yell at you and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know scary way. Now I don't want to be scaring people away from Ren. Like, well, but I think it's because they know, like, we are fully decked out in costume and we're like obviously having a good time. Yeah. So I think they know that they can like pick on us more because we're like so into it. Yeah. But like they usually wouldn't do that to people who are like wearing like street clothes.
Right. That's true.
Like if you're in costume, you're more likely to be bullied, I think.
Yeah, which I support. I mean, I'm into it.
Me too. I think it's so fun. And I love when like it makes a scene because it's just hilarious.
Yes. I agree.
I just love seeing people laugh, even if it's like at my expense.
If there's not a Puritan yelling at me at some point in the day, I consider it a failure.
True. Seriously,
I love those Puritan folks though.
They're so funny. Stay up to date with new Snacktime episodes, merch, and more on Instagram at SnackTimePod. That's SnackTimepod. See you there. Okay, so what would you say is your favorite beverage or beverages?
Okay, definitely gonna have to go, and this is, also in the name of being historically accurate. But I usually spend, like, 90% of my day at Ren Fair with a beer in hand. Um, and the funny thing about that too that I was thinking about is it's extra historically accurate because I feel like water at Ren Fair is not readily available. I try to avoid buying plastic water bottles at all costs, and I
Yeah.
honestly feel like most of the time that is what is available.
Yeah.
So, that just leaves me to have to drink beer to quench my thirst throughout the day.
Which is historically accurate because
Exactly,
water was
water was not.
undrinkable back then,
Yes,
so they drank
exactly.
beer.
Yeah, and, the amount of, like, 8 p.m. hangovers that has brought me to is uncountable, um,
8
but
PM.
8 p.m., drinking all day.
Because Ren Fair always ends at, like, 6, right?
Yeah,
So it's
mhm,
yeah, like, we're usually home
and
by
we're
8.
usually there, like, most of the day, I would say. It
Yeah.
opens at, like, usually around 10, 11 time, I
Mhm.
would say, and then I really just start
I
right
don't
from
think
the
we've
get-go.
ever gotten there after, like, noon.
No, that's
'Cause
not how we
a
roll.
lot of times we, like, have wanted to see, like, specific things that are in the morning, like when the
Yes.
queen comes out and does her first thing. Because like, there is a schedule. So, like, if I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh, we didn't see that last weekend," because usually we go multiple
of
weekends, so
course.
it's like, you're gonna try to see what you didn't see last week, you know?
Ren Fair waits for no one, and we need to see it all. But usually, the beer available at Ren Fair is pretty standard, like, I think I usually get, like, a Lagunitas, or
I've gotten a few blue moons at some Ren
yes,
fairs.
Blue Moon, what is the other one that I 805 I will get sometimes, but yeah,
Mhm.
some of those, they usually just have, like, standard, like, I don't know what you'd call that, like, well beer, is that what that's called? I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I
But they did
I'm the
have
wrong person to ask about beer stuff.
yeah,
I'm
true.
like, "Yeah,
They
well."
did have one time, I remember, it was just in one specific area by the, like, 18 plus, like, stage.
Oh,
They
uh-huh.
had, like, a craft beer. That was the time we went with Nicole and Chad, and
Oh.
I got so drunk that I ordered my bearded dragon Rory online that day at the Renaissance Fair.
I forgot about that. Oh
And
my
at home, I didn't this wasn't an impulse purchase or an impulse decision, it was a little bit of an impulse purchase, but I had been searching for a long time, but pulling the trigger to actually buy him was definitely helped along by alcohol at the Renaissance Fair.
oh my gosh, and bearded dragons are such, like, a Renaissance fair vibe, so it's, like, perfect.
Truly, and remember he came with us, that summer
Yes.
to Big Bear Ren Fair, so he
He
is
was
such a little Ren
so
Fair
little
baby.
then.
He was tiny. I know.
Like, that's kind of crazy that you were able to, like, keep him attached to his little harness. He
Right?
was so small.
I know, he definitely doesn't fit in that anymore, so if when we go back, I'll have to upgrade him to a new little harness.
Oh, I am gonna make him wings.
Oh my god, yeah, we have to have
Like, it
wings
would
for
be
him.
so cool
I know,
if, like, his little harness had, like, little dragon wings.
yes, I've been waiting for the day that I can do, like, a full Mother of Dragons, like,
Oh,
look with
yes.
him, but he hasn't been we haven't been back, I don't think, to Big Bear
Since
Ren
I
Fair
moved
since
to
he
New
was that
York.
small, yeah. So we'll have
Wow.
to do that next time for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hope the next one
Right?
happens. Ugh, okay, so, yes, alcohol is prevalent, beer is a must. If
course.
you love drinking beer, Ren Fair is the place to do it because you can drink and like walk around. Like when you're in Ren Fair, you can have a drink wherever you are.
We also need to do I'm actually surprised that we had never done this, when you were living in California before, but me and my friend Jen, um, last April did the pub crawl,
Oh, yes,
which
you
was
told me.
amazing. Yes,
Hmm.
so fun. If you love audience participation, which I
Yeah.
know you do,
Oh, yeah.
and getting drunk and shenanigans, and everyone who was on the pub crawl was, like, very into it as well.
Oh, I love that.
It was a
Yeah, I don't
great
know.
time.
Why have we never done it?
Why have we? It's kind of expensive. I think it's like
Oh,
$50
yeah.
on top of, like, how much money we already spend to be at the Renaissance Fair on our
Not
costumes and stuff.
including, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, ticket, costumes,
Right.
and, everything else. But,
You get, like, a little participation pin at the end. That
oh,
was really
that's
cool.
so cute. Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Yeah, we'll have to do it.
When you're in the bar crawl, did people do pony rides? Or was
That
it
is a
just,
good
like, refills
question.
of, like, regular drinks?
I think if I'm remembering correctly, it wasn't, like, provided on the,
Mhm.
um, pub crawl. They just provided, like, 1 beer or cider, like, per stop. There was also a stop where you could get a mimosa also, which
Oh,
was cool.
wow.
But I
Wait, that
think
is a lot of stops.
yeah, I think there were 5 or 6
Oh
stops.
my god.
Yes, and oh, this is funny too. You have to finish your you can't have 2 drinks in your hand.
Uh-huh.
You have to finish your first drink. You don't
Oh
have to
my
finish it while you're still at the stop, but you have to finish it before you get your next drink.
oh my god.
Yeah, and the drinks aren't even as big as the ones that you would buy, like, full price from
Mhm.
a booth, but
Uh-huh.
I was still, like, having to knock them back in order to, like,
Yeah.
keep up with the tour. But I think even though it wasn't provided, I think if I remember correctly, they, like that might have been the last stop or something, so I think we kinda, like, lingered there for a while so people could, like, get those pony ride
Mhm.
drinks if they wanted to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How long what?
Sorry. Should we tell the viewers at home what the pony ride
Oh my
drink
gosh,
is?
yes, I forgot that people, like, wouldn't know what that means.
Right.
Sorry, listeners, we've been talking about
News.
hopefully you Googled it by now, or yeah, Kate, why don't you explain, like, what it is?
Okay, I was hoping that you would explain it because I don't
Oh,
remember.
okay,
Okay,
so I know okay, I'll try. You look it up while I try to explain
yeah.
it. If it's wrong, then correct me. Um, so they put, like, a drink, I think it's just beer or no, okay, I've gotten it before, and it was one of those mead drinks where it was, like, a cider and a beer and, like, some kind of, like, fun little, like, syrupy thing, um, and then you, like, put your mouth so it's on the bar counter, and then you put your mouth on it and start drinking, but while you're drinking, they're pouring in more, like, mead or apple cider or whatever until, like, you can't keep drinking anymore. But you, like, wanna get
Yes.
your money's worth, so, like, you try to keep drinking.
And you have to, like, put your hands behind your back
Yeah!
also, and
Oh my god, I
usually
forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and usually the bar wench is, like, yelling at you to, like, drink more,
Yeah.
and it's a great time, and they'll just keep going, like, as long as you can drink.
Seriously, it's crazy, but I am, like, such a wimp when it comes to that, so I'd just be like, "Sip, sip, 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 sip.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
same.
done."
Yeah, I'm not a good chugger at all, but I love the spirit of it.
Yeah.
And that line is always the rowdiest line to wait
Mhm.
for that.
It's always fun to be, like, by that cart because
Yes.
everyone's just freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, okay, 2 things. 1, how long is the tour? Like, how many hours is it?
It wasn't that long. It was probably an hour,
You get
maybe
5 drinks in an
yes.
hour?
Oh, maybe now I'm second guessing it, but yes, I don't think it was that long.
Wow.
But
I
then
mean, I
again
guess if it's not full-size servings, then it's like
yeah, it's
you're not
not.
actually yeah.
It could maybe an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Um, Now
I
I'm
mean, I
not.
wouldn't want it to be too long because
Yeah,
I would
it's
still
definitely
wanna
not.
do a lot of other stuff. Yeah.
It's not like it's definitely part of the day. It's not like a
Yeah.
full day thing or anything like that.
Yeah. That is still, like, a lot for me to drink, like, you know how slow of a drinker I am.
Yeah, you would struggle. We would get you through, but they are marching you along through the place for
I might
sure.
need to bring, like, a flask and just, like, fill it as I go, like, with the beer that I can't drink.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I don't think that we've ever actually successfully snuck a flask.
I thought we did once. Yes, Kate.
Oh, was
Time.
this the 151 moment?
Yes.
Okay, tell everyone what you did.
Okay, so we were at Big Bear Ren Fair. Was that the time that it was just us? I think so.
Of
Wait,
course.
was this the
Our
time
friends are lame.
wait. Because we've gone, I think, at least 3 times. So let me just clarify. Was this the first time we had gone, which was after we had flown across, like, the
Yes.
world? We came
Yes.
back from Amsterdam, and then the next day went
Literally the
to
next
Big
day.
Bear Ren Fair.
Wow, we really rallied
That
for
is
that trip.
psychotic.
Truly psychotic. Remember how dead we were at the end of the day?
I honestly, like, don't even have memories, I think, of that evening, because I think I
Yeah.
just, like, collapsed and slept for, like,
Yeah.
12 hours.
But tell them about the rum incident.
Okay. So like I've already said in this episode, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't know, like, alcohol things. But one time we were like, let's bring flasks because, like, we didn't want to spend that much money on alcohol.
We were
So
broke from our trip.
yeah, we just yeah. So we're like, okay, so we're looking at the alcohol that they have at Kate's cabin, and I was like, oh, I really like rum. So wait, it was rum, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I really like rum." Like, I actually don't mind, like, the flavor of it. So I was like, "I'm gonna use this." So I'm, like, pouring it in. It's like, "What are you doing? That's, like, what you set on fire." And I was like, "What? Now it'll be okay." So I, like,
It's the
bring it
Bacardi 151 liqueur.
that you, like, use to set the, like, drinks on fire. So
What
I
could go wrong, truly?
what could go wrong? So we, like, park at Ren Fair and we're like, let's, like, drink a little bit before we walk in. And my throat burned that day. I was like, no, because then I,
I
like, did
really think
not,
the rest of the day it was, like, hurting.
yeah, my throat hurt the rest of I mean, it was like, I was okay, but it was just
Yeah.
like, wow, I made a mistake. But then I don't remember, did I still bring it in and then, like, mix it with, like, Coke or something?
I don't
Or, like,
remember, to
Dr.
be honest.
Pepper or, like,
If
I
you
don't know.
did, props to you because that sounds like prison, honestly.
I don't remember, but I just, yeah. So me drinking is just, like, usually not the vibe.
But you
But
make up for it for sure.
so that might bring us to, on the occasional time I get the munchies, snacks. Which, okay, so some of these you might be like, that's a meal, but I don't think meals really exist at Renaissance Fair because time doesn't exist. So it's just like you're gonna have a snack whenever you, like, finally are hungry enough that you're like, okay, we must stop and get something to eat. So yeah, keep that in mind because, like, listeners, truly, you do not know what time it is when you're at Ren Fair. Until the sun starts going down and it starts getting a little bit cooler, you're like, oh wait, what time is it? And then you, like, finally look at the time. But the snacks, I have 3 snacks that I thought of. So I was like, a top 3, that makes sense to me. But I do have some shout outs. But my snacks are Toad in the Hole, fish and chips, and honey samples. So
Oh, the honey samples. I didn't even. Oh, that's a
so
good
I
one.
have different reasons for each of these. So I think they're very representative of, like, an average day at the Renaissance Fair. Like, these are 3 things that I might actually get in the same day because we're there from, like, 11 a.m., 10, 11 a.m. until basically it closes at like 6 or 7. So multiple quote unquote meals would be had during that time. So I have a few snacks. So Toad in the Hole, if you're not aware of what that is, I did a little bit of research because I was like, why is it called that? Basically, what I would describe it as it was like a sausage inside a puff pastry of some sort. And I just remember it being really good. So I looked it up and it says it's also called sausage toad. It's a traditional English dish, which is a sausage in Yorkshire pudding. In 1762, it first appeared in print, and it was described as a vulgar name for a, quote, small piece of beef baked in a large pudding. It was originally created to stretch out meat in poor households. People are mostly unknown where the name comes from, but it may refer to the way toads wait for their prey in their burrows, making their heads visible in the earth, just like the sausages in the batter. So they're just like poking out
Oh my god.
from the batter. So that is the history, or a brief history, of Toad in the Hole, which I never knew until I just looked it up literally last night.
I love that you're giving education and historical accuracy along with your snacks. It really goes with the Ren Fair theme, I feel.
Right? That's why I was like, this like fits because I always learn something at Renaissance Fair.
True.
And then fish and chips, it's just like it's easy, it's fast. I know it's gonna be good. Like you can't really mess up fish and chips, and I love
True.
the flavor. Um, and you can eat it while you're like walking or like at a stadium because I feel like a lot of times we'll get food and then eat it while we're watching things because then it's like a good time to sit down and eat. But like we rarely, I feel like, eat at a table. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get something that's gonna like require two hands to eat usually.
Hmm.
And then honey samples because there's always like at least one booth that's selling honey and they're always so cute and they always have little spoon samples and like you can try all of them if you want because they're just like the sweetest people, literally.
Yeah.
Sweetest. So that is like included because that's usually like one of the first things, like first big interactions when you walk into Ren Fair, like
They're
that
always like that.
morning. And they're always at the front and they're like, good morrow, or whatever they say. And you're just like,
Yeah.
they're like, would you like some honey? I'm just like, yes, please. I love you. It's just like the best.
Yeah. They're so cute. I love those people. It's always the most gourmet honey too.
Yes.
Like
Flavors and
rich bees made that honey for sure.
the queen was truly
Yeah.
queen.
Yes.
So what would you say your like favorite snacks are?
Okay, I only have two. So my first
Makes
one
sense.
is my go-to snack. I feel like I always end up eating this when we sit down for the joust, which is like the highlight of the day at
Of
the Renaissance
course.
Fair. Um, and it is a zucchini fry moment. Not
Mm.
historically accurate because I'm sure they did not have zucchini fries in the times, but um, it's just a great little snack. I like to pretend that it's maybe a little healthier than like a French fry, even
I
though
think
I
it
don't
is.
actually care.
I know the
Yeah,
times that I've gotten it, I've been like, I'm being healthy today.
yes. I also find it difficult to eat like something, not saying zucchini fries aren't heavy, but like a big meal because I'm always wearing a corset that is
Hmm.
absolutely causing me pain all day. So I have to like just have like one fried item, I feel.
Hmm.
Because eating fair food and just absurd amounts of beer while in a
Yeah.
corset is just a very unique experience, like,
I
as
feel
you
like
know.
that's why you especially like rarely get like hungry at Ren Fair because
Yes.
like you are drinking bread all day.
Drinking bread in a steel bone corset
Yeah.
that I will not loosen unless I'm like actually gonna die.
When it comes to snacking, are you salty or sweet? Pick a side and show your pride with Snacktime merch. We've got stickers, we've got mugs, we've even got bucket hats. All available at Shop Marno on Etsy. That's ShopMarno on Etsy. Now, back to snack time.
I don't think, have we ever loosened them while
Yeah.
in fair?
I've had you loosen mine before,
Oh,
I remember.
really?
Yeah, we were trying to eat and I was like, I can't sit here. I can't sit, so I need help.
Oh my gosh.
I like remember sitting, like we were trying to eat and I was like switching back and forth between sitting and standing because both were so uncomfortable. And finally I was like, Michelle, and we were just standing out like in the food court area. You're like
Oh
loosing
my
my corset for
gosh.
me.
That's so
That's true
funny.
friendship.
True friends. True friends will loosen or tighten your corset when needed.
Yes.
Wow. Do I need to make some like Etsy shirt that like says that and then like Ren Fair people will buy it?
Yes. We should also talk about the parking lot like corset like
Upon arrival, the
yeah,
process.
because you cannot drive in a corset.
No way.
And Ren Fair is not exactly close to where we live.
No, yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a drive.
Yeah. So yeah, zucchini fries would be my number one, like what I usually end up with, I feel. My other snack is part of the reason that I chose to bring this up is because it was a very popular snack, very famous in the Ren Fair community,
Mhm.
and they discontinued it for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why. I would love to get to the bottom of the mystery.
I
Please write
think I
in
know
if
what
you
you're gonna
have the
say,
answer.
and I fucking agree. We need to start like a freaking petition to like, I don't know, find out the truth.
I don't know what they call it. I think they had a special name for it, but basically it was a frozen cheesecake dipped in chocolate and sprinkles or nuts or whatever you can think of um on a stick,
Mhm.
and it was amazing, and everyone would be like, I
Amazing.
remember the first time I went, everyone was talking about it like, "Oh, have you gotten this like
Mhm.
cheesecake thing yet? Like you have to try it." It was like the thing to have. And then it was gone. And I
Such
don't
a tragedy.
is this gonna become like an investigative
I
podcast?
think it need do we need to I think we have to do this. I think it's up to us.
Yeah.
I think we need
What?
to start an investigative podcast where we find out the truth. Where did the cheesecakes at Ren Fair go?
I
Or the
don't
frozen
understand.
cheesecakes?
Yeah, frozen and dipped in chocolate and
Mm.
whatever else.
That was one of my shout outs that
Yeah,
yeah,
honorable
like,
mention.
because I can't get it anymore, so it's so sad to think about, but so I can't have it in my top because it's like, my top needs to be, like, reliable, you know?
True, yeah.
So, honorable mention until it comes back, but maybe it's up to us. Maybe we will find out where it
Yeah.
went and we'll convince them to come back. Um, and I guess that's all I'll say about the, frozen cheesecakes.
Yeah.
What's your other one?
No, those are my 2. I only have 2.
Oh, wait, what was your first one? Oh,
Zucchini
zucchini
fries.
fries.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was like, wait, but that was only one. Yeah, I would agree on both of those. Zucchini fries are so good, and whoa, you can dip them in ranch, so
Of
even
course.
better.
Yes, have to get the little side of ranch,
Mhm.
um, and eat it while you're screaming for whatever night you're assigned to at the joust.
Yes. I also want to give a shout out to turkey legs because
Of
although I
course.
think I've gotten them literally just one time, it's like if you don't see at least one person eating a turkey leg, then it's a failure of a Renaissance fair. But I mean, that's never happened. So Like,
True. It's usually like an old man in like with a beard
yeah,
wearing like a
a
pointy
kilt.
hat. Yeah, a kilt or like a pointy hat. Just living his best life, truly.
Living his best life. I agree that it's usually that, but also I think the second highest, like, number of people are, like, small Asian women.
Oh, really?
Yes. I,
I
like,
love that.
always, like, young, old, whatever, but, like, Asian women, I think, love a good turkey leg, which, like, makes sense because I do really like it, but it's just too much.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot. It's
like
not corset food, that's for sure.
and it's not something you can share because you're just, like,
Yeah.
gnawing on a turkey leg, and also Kate doesn't eat turkey, so it's like, who the fuck am I gonna share it with? Because it's only, like, been 1 or 2 times that we've convinced our friends to go with us, so it's usually
True.
literally just me and Kate and, like, maybe, like, one of Kate's friends that, like, aren't our immediate, like, friend group, you know?
Right. Can we also talk about the food, which is something I always notice, the food that the people, like the actors that are working at the
Yes.
Ren Fair are eating, like they really have to be out there all day in
Mhm.
character, and they are not eating a turkey leg or zucchini fries. They are really eating like historically
Mhm.
accurate food. Like they're literally eating like lunch and dinner out there.
Yeah.
So
Like, it's
they
a show to watch them eat.
yes, and they always have like the most gourmet looking like
Mhm.
charcuterie board or like
Yes.
I don't know, it's just some really good looking like fruit and just like I don't know, the presentation of it is always like really interesting to me,
Mhm.
especially if you go into the queen or like the royalty area. That's where
Yes.
like the rich food is,
Mhm.
and they just have like big tables out of whatever they're eating,
It's so
and it always
cool.
looks so cool. They do a good job of like the presentation of it, and it so serves a dual purpose because they're actually having to like eat their meals while they're in character
Yeah.
out.
And I wonder if there's, like, certain things that they try to say, so it's not even them just, like, you know, having conversation, like, in their accents and in character, but also, like, almost kind of scripted,
Yeah,
because, like, people literally sit there and watch, so it's like, hopefully they say something interesting or else you're just,
yeah.
like, watching them eat. So I wonder
I
if
wonder too if they go this in um this deep as far as to say like, "Oh, this is what would be like in season in this part of the world during this time,"
Mhm.
or if it's just like old-timey food in general, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder. That would be so okay. In our
Something to look forward
yeah.
to, ask.
In our podcast, we're also gonna look into that and how that ties in with cheesecakes on on a stick
Yeah,
or whatever, because maybe that's why. They were like, "This is too futuristic. We can't have
yeah,
this," you know?
yeah, true.
Hmm, okay, well, we'll have to do some digging when we start our podcast.
Yes.
Um, I feel like I had there's something else that I thought of. Oh, but I don't know if that's true because I remember one time I got a what was it, like a pastrami burrito. And I
Mhm.
was like, this is not historically accurate food. Like it was just so obviously like burritos plus pastrami did not meet back in Renaissance times.
Right.
So I was like, wait, so why not cheesecake? So we have to bring back cheesecake is basically what
Yeah,
it
I agree. We should also talk about your favorite thing that you always, like, make me think about, which is hilarious, is when people who so the people that are working at the Ren Fair as actors, they are in character at all times and only eat, like, historically accurate food when they're out on the clock or whatever. But people, just guests of the Ren Fair will come wearing, like, historically super accurate attire, um, but then they'll be you always bring this up when they're drinking, like, a Coke or something, or they're like texting on their phone, like doing something very modern, but they're wearing their like very Renaissance Fair accurate outfit, and they're just enjoying themselves,
Yeah.
living in two worlds, truly.
It's like, it's so, because there are times when you're walking in Ren Fair and like there's maybe a parade just went by, plus like the people around you are like super in costume. So you're like looking and you're like, I'm in fucking Renaissance times. Like everything I'm seeing at this moment is historically accurate, like as much as possible where we are today. And then you're just like, oh wait, but then that guy just took out his phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, then you're like, whoa. Like, I love like weird, what would be the word for that? Like opposing ideas, like as a joke or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I enjoyed it as well.
So good. So good. Well, we've named all of our favorite bevs and snacks from Renaissance Fair. Any final words on eating and or drinking at the fair?
Please come with us to the Ren Fair when
Yes.
when it returns, if it ever does.
Maybe we'll have to one day have like live interviews from the Ren Fair for this podcast, and like it'll be like we try different snacks at Ren Fair and find out like what do different types of people who go to Ren Fair eat. Because
wait,
like
I love this idea.
I'm sure like families going is very different from what like 20 somethings are getting for meals.
Yes. Wait, this is a
like,
great idea. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
We have to start I think we just need to start a Ren Fair podcast.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea. I feel like Erin is listening to this and she is going to
She's already like
I was gonna say rolling over in her grave, but
she's already ready to like block our account.
Yeah, literally.
We have to make like a social media account for it. She's like, no.
She heard Ren Fair podcast and she turned this podcast off, truly. But if you don't like Ren Fair, you should be in jail. Honestly, what is wrong with you?
Jail, not the Gale.
The Gale, yeah. You need to be in the dungeon for sure.
Also, if you don't know what Gale is, it's just an Irish jail.
Yeah. It's spelled like Gaol. Maybe?
Yeah.
I think it's technically pronounced jail still.
Yeah. But we were being annoying when we were there. So
I love that.
What a fun time. We'll have to like somehow maybe we'll talk about like Irish food or something.
That's a good idea.
So I mean, Snacktime is just really expanding out into just like food in general, which I think is great, because I think inclusivity of snacks and like sizes of snacks and like what goes into a snack can be whatever the snacker wants.
I totally agree.
Like if they want to eat like a full 3-course Irish meal with like all the fixins while you're watching river dancers dance, then
live your life. The world is ending anyway. You may as well eat what you want.
Exactly. But in the meantime, we're here at Snacktime, and I just want to say thank you everyone for listening. Before we go, Kate, is there anything you'd like to promote?
Well, you can add me on Instagram I just realized that I don't know my Instagram handle, but it's Kate_Hocking, KATE_HOCKING. Let's see. What else? My Venmo is Kate1993. Just kidding, but also not really.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Oh, right, and now. My
businesswoman.
Truly. And my Twitter is at Kate M. Hocking. I'm not very active on social media, but I will look at your posts and I will like them. If you would like to do that, please add me. I'm more than happy to do that for you for a small fee.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much, Kate. I actually just remembered I have a shout out. Because it's in theme with Renaissance Fair. You and Julia and I earlier in the summer read a book called
Yes.
Well Met, and it's by Jen DeLuca, and it takes place at a Renaissance Fair. So if anyone else out there is like really missing Renaissance Fair and like just want to like put yourself in that experience, this book is so good for that. So like it will, it will be a little band-aid on your Ren Fair heart until Renaissance Fairs can happen again. And literally, I think yesterday or the day before, this week, the sequel, Well Played, was just released.
I need a book. I
Yeah.
actually just finished the book that I was reading, so that's perfect.
And it's from, I forget which character, but it's from the point of view of a different character in the little town.
Oh my god.
So
Wait.
I'm so excited.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm gonna download that like right now.
Yay! Okay, so, and listeners, you guys, I mean, if you're into Ren Fair and like rom-coms and just like fun, flirty books, then these are for you. Well Met and Well Played by Jen DeLuca. I am not sponsored by her. She does not know who I am. I'm just a big fan. And that's that. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Kate, for being here.
Thank you so much
freaking
for having me.
I feel like we need to actually start a Ren Fair podcast because there's so many more stories that I like think would be so fun to tell.
I agree. Yes. And if you are not a fan of Ren Fair, please write in and tell us why you're wrong and what you have to say for yourself, because you are objectively wrong. So please write in. That'll be what the first episode is about.
Just answering the letters. Just answering hate mail.
Answering Ren Fair hate mail. I love it.
The episode title will be such clickbait because it'll be like episode 1, like hate mail already. Like
yeah.
Oh my god. It'll just be Aaron, but like 10 times from different
literally
like, names.
The biggest Ren Fair hater.
All right. Thanks so much, Kate. Thank you again, listeners. I hope you have a great day and start reading some Ren Fair books, or just get in the Ren Fair spirit and start getting in the spoopy spirit because it's officially fall, y'all.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I guess when this episode's being published, it's definitely deep into fall because there's a few episodes going up before this one goes up. However, it is already time for spooky season. So hope you get into that spirit, and I'll see you next time on Snack Time. Bye!
Bye!